Welcome back to another Warframe video, and today I'm going to be telling you guys which melee weapons are still good to use in 2021 because of update 30.5. So I've been getting a lot of comments from old videos saying, hey, does this weapon still work? Does this weapon still work on other videos, a bunch of other videos? It's just like, oh my god. So I think I'm gonna just do a video on this and show you guys what weapons are still good. And I think the most comments I got on one video is the Crony Prime build, because it seems like everybody's love Crony Prime, but they don't know if the builds are still good for the Crony Prime. So I'm going to show you my builds for the weapons and also tell you which weapons are good to use. So for the Crony Prime, this is what I'm rocking with. Now you can also remove Prime Pressure Point if you don't like the mod or you don't ever like using the mod. Then Prime Smite, alright? Prime Smite Grenadier helps, and all the other Bane mods converted to Smite. Just change the word, and you can use obviously the other mods. Make sure they're Prime, because Prime will do more damage for the units of targets, and Grenadier. Basically, we're talking about Grenadier. So yeah, you can actually use these mods. They're actually pretty helpful when when you want to do a lot of damage for these enemies or targets. So yeah, but I think this mod still helped out, but a lot of people still don't use it because they have this, which this is not really gonna. I think this is really like a substitute for damage, because this has been lowered to 80%. It was 120%, now it's got dropped to 80%. So yeah, not so good. But well, still does amazing damage for the Crony Prime. I would say, yeah, nothing really has changed for the Crony Prime, but people still don't know, so I most definitely say the damage is still exactly the same. If you throw Prime Smite on there, it actually does more damage. And it kills people just like that. So yeah, still a good weapon to use in 2021. Guandeo we already talked about, and Guandeo Prime is definitely still a good weapon to use in 2021. Does red crits, and you can do more damage, or a lot more damage, without the red crits. So another good weapon you can use. Nami Skyla, I would say another good weapon you can use, and this is the Prime version. So I love this weapon for a very long time. I think this is one of my favorite dual swords weapon, and I enjoy it a lot. Now this weapon, I don't think it can really do any more red crits, but this is the build that I'm rocking with, and I think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to change it because it does have a lot of attack speed. So I think I'm just going to throw Prime Fury on there because I don't need Berserker Fury. So I'm going to change that, but let's go ahead and see what it does right now for damage. And yeah, I want to see what damage it does right now, because I think it could do better. And this is not what the kind of expected, because I forgot this has corrosive damage on it, which seems still good to do. It's still good to use, but I think I'm going to switch something around. Alright, so yeah. So here's my actual build for this, because I always love using Prime Reach, and that's fine to use in this build. I'm going to be using, what else? I have Sacrificial Steel in here, but I don't think it does the red crits. No, it doesn't do red crits anymore, so I'm going to remove that and put Prime Pressure Point or Prime Smite Grenadier. Let's see what Prime Pressure Point right quick, because I feel like it's gonna destroy them easily with Prime Smite Grenadier. I already know that for a fact, but I just want to see what Prime Pressure Point, and yeah. Oh, it did good. Yeah, most definitely it did good. But I'm sure with Prime Smite Grenadier, it's gonna do a lot more damage, because that mod is just freaking amazing, and it's all focused on Grenadier damage. So it obviously just focuses on one unit of target and worries about that only. I'm sure someone asks about Skijady. Is Skijady still good to use in the game as well? And this build, I think this is what I'm rocking with as far as anything else. I think Berserker Fury you can take out, or if you can leave it in there. 1.17 attack speed, so not bad. And Well, all the damage is just good. The only terrible thing is that I don't know why it still has Sacrificial Steel in here, but let's go ahead and try this out and see where we get at. Why am I using Bombards? I have no idea. So, if you're thinking about commenting that down below, then I just can't give you a clue of why I'm spawning Bombards, because they're very annoying. So yeah, overall, still a freaking good weapon you can use. And yeah, it did some really nice damage. So I would say, yeah, go ahead and still use the Skijady. I would probably say remove Weeping Wounds and put in Prime Smite in there to see more damage. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to keep moving on to these other weapons and see what else of a weapon still does good damage. Don't forget, you still have your Tenet weapons as well. They all kind of do good damage. I still have the Olivia, which I'm going to wait until next week comes around, because the Hollow Keys changes is going to come. So not next week, I should say. I don't have an actual date for that, so there's no actual date. So but hopefully in a few weeks that change will come. So yeah, but you still have your Tenet weapons. Attendant Agendas, I would say leave out. It's not all there, not really doing that much damage, but we're gonna review that in another video. So yeah, stick around for that. But I'm sure all the other ones like these two are actually really good, so you could still use those in 2021. I noticed Vitrica does a lot of damage as well. Not a lot, I should say, but it overall actually still does amazing damage in 2021 as well. And I enjoy it. I was taking this to the Steel Path, and I was taking this to, using this weapon in general for taking down my liches and stuff. And this thing can actually do some really good damage. So let's go ahead and jump into my build for this. And this is how I got it set up right now. I love how this thing is actually pretty good. Still good to use. So if you're a type of person that really loves slash, then definitely give this weapon a try. I don't think it has that good of slash damage, but it's overall still a good weapon that can do some slash damage. Volnage Prime, another good weapon to use. Not so bad. I tried to fix up the damage for this and see what it can do. How can we get it to do more damage? Because it really wasn't doing a lot of damage. So I was kind of sad for this weapon, because I thought it was nice before the change. It was definitely doing some good freaking slash damage as well. And then after that, it just, I don't know, it didn't flop, but it was just not doing what I expected to do after the change. So, but I think right now it's actually pretty good. And you saw that I had Prime Smite on, so right now, yeah, it's not so bad. Definitely say this weapon is still good to use in the Steel Path. I would probably say just throw one of the Prime Smite mods on and then go with that. But overall, like I said, not a bad weapon. Sigma and Authentis, one of my favorite shield and sword weapons. I love to use. This was definitely one of my best before the update, because this thing was definitely doing a lot of damage. And if you go in here, it was doing a lot. It does a lot of slash damage. So that's why I love this freaking weapon so much, because it just murders enemies like crazy, and it was doing so much damage until it got that mod change. So, which is a downer, but I think this is the build that I'm rocking with, and I think it still does good. But maybe I would say throw a Prime Smite on there. It hits insanely fast. Yeah. Ooh. Definitely still a good weapon to use. Actually, I would say don't remove anything for Prime Smite. I think it's good where it's at right now. So I would just say, yeah, leave it at that. But definitely a good weapon to still use in update 30.5. Pangolin Prime, I know this is everyone's favorite melee weapon to use, especially for a sword weapon. A lot of people love using this weapon, so I definitely know someone's gonna love this. To know that the Pangolin Prime it still does good damage in 2021. So this is my build that I'm rocking with. Prime Smite Grenadiers in here. So let's go ahead and check that out. I was gonna do a whole build on this weapon, but it didn't make sense because melee is right where it's at right now. It's just like I don't think anybody just mess with melee weapons like that anymore. I mean, obviously there's no talk in melee weapons, and it's just like, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of dead right now. I mean, no YouTubers are talking about it, about any melee weapons, but I know for sure, I think it's just primary weapons and secondary weapons that everyone's just focused on because it got a huge change in here. But then it's just like, why not, why did they decrease everything for melee weapons and then gave a huge buff on primary weapons? That's just crazy to me. Like, I know you want us to use like our whole arsenal, but it's like now you just made it, you divided it in so many ways. It's just like, and I guess that's why they call it the arsenal divide. But again, the whole point was that just to make everything still good in the game, you know. But you kind of just divided, you know, the whole point of trying to put everything still good in the game. You really divided that, you know. So I feel like on that part it's kind of stupid, but then again, it's digital streams. What can you expect from them? Last weapon I'm gonna do is the Nakano Prime because, well, Nakano Prime is that weapon. Alright, it's way better than, well, bad button touching, or I should say. Anyways, this is definitely one of the best Nakano Primes that used to be, I guess, before the update. But well, we're gonna take a look at this weapon and see if it's still good. So this is the build that I'm rocking with. Actually, let's switch to that one because I want to see a prime reach in here. And this is the build I'm rocking with. I think it's still red crits actually. So let's go ahead and try this out right quick. I think so. I'm not really for sure. I forgot if this weapon still does red crits. Oh wow, but it really just pushed everybody across the map. Ah, but there we go, some red crits though. And I know everybody keeps talking, like, saying the sacrificial still decreases your damage. I, for one, think that, I don't know where you guys are actually really getting this information from. You can't just, like, take everything you know off of Google or something. I don't know where you guys get this information from, but not really everything is just, like, correct, you know? Not everything is just accurate. So I get that, but at the same time, not everything is accurate where the damage is. I feel like we should be using these not the arcanes, Jesus Christ, these mods that really do help us with damage, and I think sacrificial steel is one of those mods we should be using as well. But you still have prime pressure point and prime smite grenadier, so you can remove this mod for any of these two mods that is going to help you or you think is more suited for you and damage. That's all for this video. Comment down below which weapon you decide to use in 2021 for a better melee. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on all social medias and Twitch, links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.